Hey everybody, Dream Akuma here. I want to do a shout out real quick to my buddy Jack. Uh, Recently and in the past, he's sent me some care packages, but recently he really sent me a huge care package of figures, and I'm super excited. And I finished a bunch of the metal ones up, and I thought I'd talk about the OSR, Old Hammer. I don't know what to call it exactly. I guess OSR, Old Hammer, kind of fits best. Collection of figures. Now, this is 99% of it. I think there's some Hero Quest figs that I have put away in a big box somewhere. And in all honesty, if I throw them out onto here, this board's going to be just loaded. So I just wanted to show off what the game plan is and the figures for this particular game that I'm going to be running pretty soon. November 3rd, we are planning. My group's planning on doing a 24-hour live stream of Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I want to OSR it as much as possible. So a lot of these figures are going to be used for that. But also, at some point in the future, I want to do like a full-on old school styled D&D adventure using nothing but old school figures. So I am going to probably pick the camera up and move things around a little bit. Hopefully I'm not too disorienting. I have a little bit of shakes, so we'll see how this works out. But I'll walk you through everything. I guess we'll start off with heroes, which we've got a bunch here. We've got some Reaper characters. There we go. We've got some Reaper characters. Some more Reaper characters. These monopose ones with the square bases, they are from the Dungeons & Dragons 2nd edition box set, also known as First Quest. There's a Grenadier. There's a Merleton. Let's see here if we can... There we go. My lighting's not the best right now, but there's a Merleton. I think there's another Merleton. That little guy with the axe is a Prince August mold, where you had to cast your own figure. There's a Lances and Lasers guy, and this dude, we have no clue what he is to. I have no idea what he is, what he's to. He was definitely old, and he had lead rot, so he had to be a rescue. But I absolutely had to have him, because I wanted to save him from lead rot. So I painted him, sealed him as fast as I could. Yeah, we got two Grenadier characters here. They almost seem like they're in the same pose. We got, there's a Citadel Halfling from the Citadel Halfling Command. Another Citadel Halfling from the Halfling Command. Now, there is some Reaper medals in here, which are newer, but I kind of go for the old style, if that makes any sense. Yeah, so there's some heroes. Gives people a lot of choices, everything from Barbarian to Bard to Cleric, whatever. Thinking about getting a couple more heroes, but hey, whatever. It all works at the end of the day. Over here we have like random encounter type stuff. There's a Grenadier troll. Pretty sure it's a troll. This is a Grenadier from Jack. I think this went with like a lizard, which is right next to him. This is through Merleton though. They're old Grenadier sculpts, but through Merleton. We have a Night Goblin Shaman. Over here we've got this is a Reaper Bob Ollie Basilisk. Bob Ollie did a lot of old stuff, so I really liked how it came out. Got some more Grenadier. There's a Games Workshop orc, plastic arms, but the body was like an old school Weird Boy or Warped. There's another orc. There's a custom cast miniatures Orcs of the White Hand. I think it's Orcs of the White Hand Goblin. Later on, they were known as Heritage Miniatures. There's some Citadel Harpies. There's an SX Miniatures, a very well-endowed SX Miniatures Executioner with a halfling or a gnome, not sure what. There's a Heartbreaker Miniatures Ogre from Tim Prowl. Looks a lot like the Ogre from Battle Masters, but he's a lot smaller. There's an Orc of Kargir from Reaper. There's a Pumpkin Golem from Reaper. You know, just a good eclectic mix, which is kind of what I'm going for. Just a hot mod podge of just different ranges and styles. I need to get some Ralparthas and stuff like that, but pretty fun. Over here, I got them put off to the side. We have a Balthurian, whatever they want to call the not Mind Flayer from Reaper. And there is a Grenadier demon. I think it's like a nightmare demon or something like that. That was from Merleton. Then we have the two major factions for the baddies. I apologize if I sound terrible. Let's see, there we go. We can get that focus to work. Probably the two biggest factions are Undead and Chaos. That's the reason why Chaos looks pretty small, is because we have a bunch of like Chaos Warriors and stuff like that from, that's mostly Chaos Warriors from Hero Quest that are in a box and they're just not here. And then there's the Undead forces, which pretty scary. Up front here, let's see here if we can just move a couple things out of the way. We've got three Reaper Miniatures Dungeon Dwellers. There's Rictus the Undying in the front, in the back's the Karn Wraith, and then the Vampire was this month's miniature. I am very happy with these. I kind of wish they do more Dungeon Dweller stuff that was monsters, because they have a bunch of heroes, and the heroes don't stand out as much. As we go further back, there's some more Reaper. There's a Reaper Vampire, Reaper guy with a scythe. There's a Tim Prowl Reaper Miniatures, like I'm going to call him Triple H Death Knight. There's a Citadel Miniatures Lord of the Rings Wraith. It's one of my favorite models. It's kind of one of the models that got me into this business. There's a hero from the Vampire Counts for Blood Bowl. There's a Lich from Reaper Miniatures. There's a Spectre from Reaper Miniatures. There's a... you're going to hear a lot of Reaper Miniatures here. There's an Angel of Death from Reaper. Back here, in the back a bit, there's a Mercure, which is their Melkor, or their Witch King of Angmar substitute from Reaper. A Citadel, and then the Citadel set for the Lord of the Rings battle game, Witch King of Angmar. It's before he got the crown. There is a modified Heinrich Kemmler. He has the skull on the staff instead of the bird. I prefer the skull from the original sculpt back in the day, and I can't afford that, so there's what I get. There's another Wraith. There's a couple of Bob Ollie. I think one's a Wraith, one's a White of Westboro. The other one's another fighter. Or another skeletal fighter, I don't know, but it's another Bob Ollie Reaper miniature. There's a Reaper Miniatures Undead Jester. right there is the Lamian. Let's see if I can move that out the way. There we go. The girl in the dress is a Lamian vampire from Games Workshop. Old model. Not terribly old. Not as old as the Lord of the Rings Barrow White. There's another Reaper Miniatures. I think his name's Redgaz. He's a Reaper Miniatures skeletal vampire. Or skeletal pirate. There's a lot of vampires here. There's an Arachnoskeleton from Reaper. There's a Greater Mummy from Grenadier. That big guy right there is a Troll from Reaper. I've kind of made him into a zombie. This is a Ralpartha Colossal Skeleton. I love this model. I kind of hacked it a little bit. I had a staff or some sort of weapon from, I think it's a Games Workshop bit, and I kind of put it on the shield. I really dig them. So there's the undead. Sorry for all the bad camera angles. And then the other huge opposing force would be Chaos, which has all the demons and stuff. We've got a Chosen of Chaos, which I've done up as a Tzeentch Sorcerer. We have some of the older, late 80s Chaos Warriors, like the Slambo era, but I don't have Slambo yet. Gotta get that Slambo. We've got some Citadel Demons. There's some more Chosen, or Chosen Warriors of Chaos or something like that. They're champions, that's it. Some Champions of Chaos, including the Tzeentch, or not Tzeentch, Xenomorph styled focus. Come on. Work with me here. Focus. Okay, well, there's a Xenomorph style. I can't get it to focus. Technological problems, eh? That's the closest thing I got to a Gargoyle from HeroQuest. There's some Beastmen from Marauder. Yeah, they're the Marauder miniatures. Beastmen. There's a Reaper Miniatures Demon. There's the Demigorgon from Grenadier. This one was from Merleton. Thank you, Jack, for this model. And then there's a Bob Ollie Vulture Demon. It's Sheksky. Terrible joke. So the idea is that heroes are going to end up having to choose a side in this war between Chaos and Undead. Try to get out alive. But this is the model collection so far. I'm hoping to get like one more big push for the models. But y'all have a good one.